Very good morning, sir.
Yes, how
Very
are you?
good. Very
Welcome.
well. Thank
Great.
you for having us.
Welcome to Fred Footwear.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, I know it's your first time, but we
Yeah.
certainly are going to, make it worth your while.
Wow.
So, Fred Footwear is a footwear manufacturing company. In fact, a one of four company based in the Eastern Cape. We manufacture a variety of footwear, which is safety wear, school wear, casual wear,
Nice.
and school wear. We actually started. We were officially opened by the premier and the mayor at the time in 2003. However, we informally
amazing.
operated in 2001. And we've had, over the years, we've had the following different
This is
accolades
amazing.
from different, both South African, both international
This
accolades,
is amazing.
all just.
This is where we actually met.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
This
This is actually what brought us together.
Yeah.
Um,
Talk to us about some of these other
Great.
ones.
So the other ones were the exporter program.
Great.
We were also recognized for our export activity.
Nice.
We've also had to receive an accolade from the municipality, the Nelson Mandela municipality, for being the top part of the top 50 companies.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Based on our contribution and the
This is
impact that
amazing.
we've had
When
onto the
Transnet,
system.
imagine,
When
exporter.
Transnet, yes. We've also received a top 40 business award from the also prior
Top
to
40,
that
under 40.
under 40.
Can I come
Yes,
through?
yes, you can come through from CEDA before this one, which is the National
Wow.
Gazelles program.
Hey, this is nice.
Yeah.
Man.
So this came I think in 2016 that
Wow.
we received, and this was just this recent one was just an add-on,
Yeah.
a continuation of our.
This one?
This one was the top entrepreneurial award from the Nigerian embassy, through to the founder of the company at the time. And this was just recognizing his entrepreneurial spirit and leadership at the time.
This is amazing.
Yeah. Please come through.
Thank you.
We are now walking you to one of our operating floor.
Oh, this is amazing.
So footwear is actually made up of puzzles. The puzzle here is different pieces. We have the quarter, we have the pant, and we have the different lining material. The lady on the table is responsible for what we call a table hand activity, whilst the lady on her side is responsible for stitching.
All right.
So once the pieces are put together, it is sent to the ladies on the side, which is then stitched. And we have two different ladies. We have the twin needle machine, and we have the single needle machine.
Nice.
So once it is stitched, it goes for process. So these are the different components that makes up the shoe in particular. This shoe is the school shoe, whilst those shoes, they are the safety shoes that we make. She's doing a different category of stitching, which is just stitching the collars and stitching the binding. So each department has its quality work. The lady here is just responsible for doing a high level quality assessment before the shoe then moves on to the next stage, which goes.
What do you enjoy most about seeing this?
Yeah, so over there, I think in floor one, which is called the build-up stage, what is incredibly inspiring is actually how you can see, a process start. As complex as it is, each process has a beginning. Sometimes it's actually good to actually see how, as much as the end solution may be complex, but it's good to actually, all complex problems start initially.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. And that sometimes is always very good, just to see how the starting of any complex.
And I'm sure you remember how your dad started.
Yes. Yes. In its early days, it was a little bit informal, where it was just a table. Everything was literally no more than 100 meters.
Yeah.
Even the reception was 100 meters, was part of the 100 meters,
Yeah.
and there were different people just, clubbing together. But over time, as we grew in terms of vision and capacity, well, we needed capacity to match the vision. And the vision, as the vision grew, the capacity also needed to grow. We also then matched the capacity, besides the capacity to the vision, the capability as well. So capacity speaks to one thing, but capability speaks to something else. So both capability and capacity needed to be aligned with with the vision. So every year, in the event that we think of new capabilities, then we need to find new, support for that new capability, and then what is then the capacity that translates from that capability.
But it's not an easy thing, man.
Indeed, it's not. It's not. Manufacturing it's not for the faint-hearted. Because manufacturing is a combination of both machinery. At its core, manufacturing is a combination of machinery and human or labor capital. The two formed together is what gives you that output. So to get that productivity, the two has to be multiplied into or infused into one, and then the output then becomes your intended.
Excellent.
So you need to be able to deal with labor and the attributes that manifest from labor. So people management, leadership, just good people management, leadership. Then when it comes to machinery, that's where more of the technical aspects. So maintenance, capital investments. When do you buy? When do you sell? When do you offsell? All of those factors.
When did you take over?
So I joined the organization in 2015. So it's been almost a decade.
10 years.
10 years. And it's been an interesting 10 years.
Wow.
The first time when I have a background that is actually not manufacturing. So I came from a service background. And I recall the adjustment moving from a service industry into a manufacturing one was something that perhaps I must admit I originally underestimated. So it took me a reasonable fair of time to sort of get myself realigned to the new type of industry that I was operating. And the level in which I came in, which is at a more executive level, that means that I needed to deal with complex issues very quickly. I needed to also get a good, deep technical understanding very quickly. And I needed to be able to also deal with people. At both at an executive level as well as at a non-executive level very quickly.
Agility,
and be able to make
that's
decisions.
what I'm hearing.
Correct.
Agility.
Correct. So all of that was required in my role very quickly to be able to move the organization and its people forward quickly.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So what
happens here? So what happens here is the preparatory environment. So over here we get the raw leather, which comes in a raw form like this, is converted into patterns. By the way, leather, the source of leather is actually animal hide. So your cows, your horses, all of those mammals, once they're slaughtered and the meat goes to the butchery, the skins the skins are then processed into what we call then
which is a totally different business.
Correct. Correct.
So
that
is something you would incorporate eventually?
So part of the value chain in terms of the vision is to understand all our factors of input. Our factors of input, for instance, critical is leather. Our factors of inputs are other synthetic materials that we utilize in the manufacturing process.
All come from South Africa.
Most of it comes from South Africa. However, South Africa as a country doesn't have sufficient hide or leather to cater for all the different industries that utilize leather.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a couple of industries that utilize leather as a saw. The automotive industry,
Yeah.
the car seats,
Yes. Yes.
they use a whole lot of leather.
Yeah.
The second is furniture. If you think about it,
Yeah,
all the nice
definitely,
furniture that you sit on use a whole lot of leather. The third will be footwear. Then the fourth will then also be accessories, your
Yeah,
bags,
yes.
your leather, your belts. All those industries feed up from leather. Now, the leather that we produce in the country does not necessarily, the supply is not enough to meet demand. So we often have to supplement with imports from leather and different synthetic materials as well
Where
to
would
support.
those
So a good source of a good origin that has large quantities of leather is places like India.
Oh.
Places where that has a large contingent of livestock, where they have large contingent of cows, large contingent of buffaloes is another one. Even ostriches as well, crocodile skins. All of those supply us with the good quality, leather that we need. So India is one. China is also another. There are also places on the continent as well that also have a large contingent of livestock. So places like Ethiopia, where we can import, good value, raw materials. Yeah. So over here, what this department is responsible for is to take patterns. These are what we call knives. These knives are, in essence, patterns that have been converted into a steel structure. The steel structure is then placed on the hide. And the different patterns such as these are then cut. Once these patterns are cut using machineries like these are processed. This particular machine is meant for splitting, which takes off a layer of the leather. The lady over there does the skiving, which skives the edges, and then it goes out for processing.
No, this is amazing work.
Great. Just a pity that the team works in between shifts.
Yeah.
But on a full day, we have our own share of worries.
Like you said, business employs about 100 people.
Yeah, so we have the infrastructure to accommodate for 100 or so employees, as you can see. Currently on site, based on this shift, we're about 20 or so. So this machinery here does what we call accessorizing, which places different accessories. This particular machine over here is called an eyelet machine. It places holes into your shoe for the laces, to come through your shoe. This machine here is a D-ring machine. Also another form of a D-ring. Yes, D-ring machine. It places this particular D-ring functionality is very synonymous with safety shoes. It allows you to release the lace on the shoe within a very quick couple of seconds. So in the event that there's a fire on the shoe, a chemical spill on the shoe, you can easily release the shoe very quickly from your
I'm guessing.
Yes.
You can let me know whether you can answer this or not. But
yes.
I'm guessing that you do a whole lot of units on those.
Yes, correct.
So those are your best sellers.
Yes, correct. So the operator for those shoes, for instance, so most of the safety shoes that have a lace, there are two types of safety shoes you can have. You can have a non-lace shoe, like these boots, evident on the floor.
Yes.
So then the other type is where you can have a boot with a lace. Yeah. When it's a safety shoe and the shoe has the lace, then it is highly probable that you'll find a D-ring on the shoe with the lace. And each shoe must then be D-ring with precision to be able to finish the final shoe. So if you come through to this side, this particular area is what we call the closing area. It is the part that puts the sole, injects sole, puts the sole onto the upper. When they are currently out of shift at the moment, but when they are working and they complete the product, this will be the final.
These look amazing. These are beautiful.
This will be the final product.
Stuff. We're allowed to touch.
Yes, you are.
This is quality
you are.
stuff.
So
this school kids.
These are school shoes, yeah, for school
Wow.
kids, which have just been finished off the line.
Wow.
For different sizes. And sometimes what we tend to do is we tend to match the color with
Wow.
the schools, with the school uniform theme. So if the uniform theme is gray, then we'll give you a gray inner lining.
Oh.
If the school uniform is blue, then we'll change this.
Is that a unique value
It's
add?
It's a unique value add just to create.
Don't steal this.
Just to create more.
Wow.
It's just to give the students a bit more esteem.
Yes,
so, for instance, you have the red color. Yes.
Yeah.
So just to match the,
Wow.
so that when the kid wears the shoe, they actually have a feel. So this is actually a shoe in progress.
Mm.
And this is how it will look like when everything
Yes.
has been finalized.
I'm very interested to find out about this, your value.
Yes.
You know, I visited
Yes.
the Tweezer factory.
Yes.
Right?
Ken Clark.
Ken Clark.
Yes.
And he
Hello,
also
Ken.
had something similar to this.
Yes. So this was a set of values that was workshopped pre-COVID. I think probably in 2016. It was workshopped by the leaders at the time who felt that we needed to recapitalize certain aspects that are important to the workers at the time. And all the workers unanimously came up with, I think there were in total 20, and it was then condensed into 5. So values that we subscribe to is trustworthiness, passion for excellence, teamwork, motivates to empower, accountability, and lastly, respect.
Which one is your favorite?
So I think by far my most important would be respect.
Mm.
Yeah. So respect for my fellow colleagues, irrespective of their level, whether it's a conversation in the boardroom, it's a conversation on the floor. It's just having a mutual respect for your entire ecosystem. But for different people, they may have different things. Yeah. So please come true. So I want to illustrate also the future of footwear. This is what we call computerized stitching. This is a computerized stitching machine, and what it's responsible for is doing different categories of stitching in this way. And on its own, the machine can spit out maybe about 300 pairs a day.
Wow.
Different pairage, and and to operate this machine needs someone that is a bit has a combined mindset between computers and mechanical stitching.
Gotcha.
And we get this product from this
This is
machine.
the future.
And this is the future.
Yeah.
So companies
Looks
have
very
invested.
expensive.
It is.
Yeah.
You don't want me to disclose
Yeah.
you might lose your underwear if I disclose the price of
Yeah,
one
no,
product
no.
like this. But companies have invested in 10s, 20s of machinery like this. Our vision is, over time to invest slowly.
What's the impact on job security?
Yes. So it's a good point as we walk back through. So the impact on job security on machinery like that, which is called the auto stitching machinery, is twofold. In most cases, the type of individuals that operate such machines are skilled individuals. So to operate such machine, you need to have a basic computerized knowledge and also a basic stitching knowledge. Most manual or most people that operate machinery outside to that are predominantly manual operators. So they have to do everything manual by themselves. There's very little computerized input. So to have those type of machineries means that your workforce migrates from purely low skilled towards high skilled, because you then need to understand how to operate the machine, how to maintain the machine, how to fix the machine. And from there, you can actually, completely graduate into a pure robotic type machine. So that will be our version of robotics, just like the automakers make use of high variations of robotic type machinery.